Transformational coach focused on soul growth. She's been in a class called Speak Your Soul. The lessons in this class are about speaking from your quantum moment, a moment that was so strong it changed the way you perceive the world. She's working with a coach to take a deeper dive into this talk to the TED stage. Today's speech is a hard but vulnerable share entitled Forgiving What Can't Be Forgiven. Please welcome Toastmaster Tatia Jankiewicz.
Have you ever felt so broken that you never thought you'd feel whole again? I felt that way. And when I did, I went into the bathroom, I stood in front of my mirror, and I was trying to find myself. And I'd look at my hair, look in my eyes. My eyes. I wasn't there. One day after that, I walked into the bedroom. My husband, he must have sat on the end of the bed, but he was flopped back. I thought he was passed out. And I took a moment and I just stood there. And I looked at him and I took a deep breath. Oh my gosh. I've been looking for myself outside, in my husband, in my job, everywhere, but not in the silence of my own soul. In that breath, I found a piece of myself that I had been missing. And in that moment, the little girl in me began to cry. But there was another voice stronger than the cries. And that voice was deep from my soul, and it started coming up, and I did not want it to, because I had so many silent screams in my head, never spoken out loud. And every single one of them came out my mouth at this motionless human. And after I got that out, I was like, whew. And I turned, and like a vampire, all of a sudden, he was there, holding my throat with such superhuman strength. But I was elevated. He had me pinned against the wall with my feet dangling. I had just found a piece of myself, and now I'm going to die? No. Okay, I guess I am. There was no question. So I sunk into it. I don't know if you've ever been in that position, but I sunk into it. And then I looked at him, and he was not looking at me, but through me, and his eyes were black. It dawned on me, I'm not the victim. Well, I am. I'm being victimized, but he's a victim to himself. In that moment, I felt so much love and compassion for him, more than my life, because my thought was, oh my gosh, he's going to feel so bad when he realized he killed me. And right then, he collapsed, which meant I collapsed. And I went into the bathroom, and I shut that door, and I looked into the same mirror I looked right before that moment. But I wasn't the same girl looking back. I had found a piece of myself. In that silence, I touched my soul, and I had a purpose, and I knew I had a purpose. It was not going to end like this. And I could hear that voice telling me, you are not what you're experiencing. You are not your circumstances. You are a child of God. And I knew what just happened to me was not personal. And strangely, that relieved so much of the pain. Oh, don't get me wrong. I was still scared. My heart was beating fast. My personal self felt attacked, but my soul chose that as a moment to grow. Because if I know anything, the pain that I experience, it's either going to take me or it's going to make me. And I'm going to stand on that and use it to power my purpose. My purpose, I thought, was healing people. I thought it was changing him, changing everything around me. But it was about finding me on the inside. And for the next 20 years, I've spent helping people finding their soul, touching a piece of them on the inside. And the three main things that I did in that moment, I have stood on for the rest of this time. The first one is breathing. I took that time to breathe, Normally, you have a thought and you react. You have a thought, you react. There's no space there. When you breathe, you have that thought and you create space. In that space, you can feel your soul. So the most important thing, if you want to take your power back, if you want to take it back from life, if you want to take it back from your job, from a person, from anything on the outside, take the time to breathe and nestle into your soul, because that's where you feel God. And light is always greater than darkness. The second, compassion. I believe without a shadow of a doubt that my life was saved because I felt the compassion in my heart for him. Because it wasn't about me. That man was in pain. He was in a lot of pain, and I loved him. It didn't matter. It doesn't mean you accept what's unacceptable. But the truth is, his pain, I felt so much compassion. And forgiving what can't be forgiven, he had multiple personalities, all right? He could never apologize for what he did because he never remembered from each personality. I didn't know that at the time. But all I knew was that compassion is great to cultivate. I was being abused, but I accepted it because it was disguised as mental illness. However, it's hard to forgive in the moment you're being abused. And it's hard to find the love of God in those moments where you feel totally trashed. But compassion, if you cultivate compassion, that's the energy of forgiveness and love together. And cultivating compassion got me to the forgiveness, got me to love, and got me to God. So breathe and find your soul. Cultivate compassion. And you can never fix anything at the level you created it or what happened. So I am going to find gratitude. And every day I force myself to find my happy spot or make up one if it wasn't true. It didn't matter. I love the sky. I love the sun. I love rainbows. I love sunsets. I lived in those many times. I still do. But I'm not running from anything now. Today, I cultivate all that I love. I bring up the gratitude, bring up the happiness, so that no matter where I'm at, even if I'm here, I'd rather be here and I'll get a better perspective of what my life is. Even though that was an extreme example, we all have that moment inside of us that is that phoenix moment. I'm either going to take it and stand and rise, or I'm going to die. What do you choose?